Okay, hello, and welcome to the latest installment of And Sarah Appeared. My name is Sarah, and I'm appearing before you right now. I'm having a little car drive, and just honestly going through some of the things that, getting ready to discuss some of the things that kind of caught my attention. And you know how we usually do. I was watching an online segment and it came across my feed, some of the information that was going on with a particular R&B artist and her love interest. And come to find out, this was a situation where this individual was not being completely faithful. And with this person not being completely faithful, and the type of person that he was with, that he was linked with, most people, everyday people would say this is a no-brainer. How could you go out and cheat on somebody of this caliber? If you look at it, this woman is beautiful. She's accomplished. She's extremely talented, extremely creative. And she's at the top of her game. She's at the top of the game right now in R&B. And it's like, why or how did you put yourself in a position to be able to fumble somebody like her? And that's the perception that most people in the public eye would have when it comes to a situation like that. Here's the truth of it. The truth of the matter is, it doesn't matter how successful, how talented, how sexy, how gorgeous you are. If somebody chooses to mishandle you or chooses to misstep, they choose to misstep and they choose to mishandle you. It doesn't matter. And I think as women, we look at it like, oh my gosh, I have everything to offer. I have everything that you would want in a woman. Because let's be honest, there are some everyday women out here who do not have the notoriety and the fame as some other women, but they are just as talented. They are just as deep, insightful, and they have something that they bring to their relationship. Not only looks wise, but also intelligence wise, and also wealth wise. You got some women out here that are out here just doing the thing, and they contribute. They're a total package. They're a 10, but they're unfound gems. And the thing about it is, you would look and see if someone like that is a total package, if somebody like that is an uncut gem, why would you even fathom looking at something else? What would make you give up your 100% for a 20% or an 80%? What makes you actually balance the scales with that? And here it is. In my opinion, it doesn't matter. It's all about the perspective of how mature is the person that you're with. You can offer and bring everything to the table. You can offer and be the complete total package, every man's dream, and every ex's nightmare. You could be everything that you're supposed to be. You could be the woman of this man's dreams. You could be the woman that this man has prayed for. But at the end of the day, and at the beginning of the sentence, if that man is not mature enough or considerate enough to handle the gem that you bring to the table, it's not going to make him stop and look around and get into something else just on the side. And I guess my question is that a deal breaker? Does that denote that it's no longer something worth fighting for? I have to be a non-negotiable because of everything that I bring, because of how accomplished I am. And I think in this case, it's okay to say, yeah, that's a deal breaker. It's okay to say, with everything that I have going on, I'm not willing to put up with that. It's okay to say that. Now, that's for this individual. It's okay for that individual. I think a lot of people say you're too hard, or you need to be a little more lenient when it comes to what people have to offer. It was a mistake. You need to be quick to forgive it, and you need to move on from it. But let's be honest about it. When it comes to role reversals, if a woman is in that position and she's with a man who's of a higher caliber, or who has what we would call, something to bring to the table or something to offer. If she is with a man who is of a higher caliber in the eyes of society, and she's out here caught philandroping around or cheating with somebody else, the majority of society would say throw her away, burn the witch at the stake, kick her to the curb. She's trifling. She's no good. She's a dog. She's this. She's that. She's anything but a child of God or a divine being of femininity. She's toxic. And when it comes down to it, it's like, well, is this person toxic, or did this person have a lapse in judgment? And we have this age-old boys will be boys type attitude when it comes to men, and we don't give them the benefit of the doubt. We automatically say they're not going to be able to control themselves. Boys will be boys. Men are going to go out there, oh, you know how men are, oh, you know how they do. And we just give them these antiquated passes that nobody asked to give. And we just say it's okay. A woman shouldn't have to. A woman who sits up there and says cheating is a non-negotiable is too dominant. She's too hard. She's too masculine. She's too rough. But that's not something that is masculine. That's a standard. When did we call standards masculinity and try to punish women's natural femininity with having an opinion or a standard, or even daring or asking to be treated how we feel they should be treated? How does it come to that? At the end of the day and at the beginning of the sentence, what denotes someone who deserves a certain type of behavior? What denotes that? And I think it's also something, I think it's a stigmatism also in the black community, but also with any minority of women. I don't know how other minorities handle this type of thing, but what I have seen and noticed is within black and Latino culture, a lot of women are expected to put up with a lot of toxic masculinity, and we're not supposed to say anything about that toxic masculinity. And if we do, we're automatically categorized as a radical. We're automatically categorized as somebody who you're ungrateful for just having a standard that comes easy to other races of women, or women who fit more of a different type of standard according to societal status quo. Okay, so with that being said, it's like, how you gonna sit up here and make an exception for one, but you're not making the exception for the other? It doesn't make any sense. Is the woman being too demanding? Is she being a diva? Is she, is she on an ego trip because she says she does not want to deal with cheating? Or is it just that a woman just doesn't want to deal with cheating because she feels like whether she brought something to the table or not, there was an agreement or a commitment? And that's another thing too. I think society gives a quiet pass to women who are more accomplished than their male counterparts. And if they're more accomplished, and on top of that, they have very extremely good looks, society will give a pass and say that this is not the type of woman that you should be cheating on. But what is the type of woman that you should be cheating on? Should you be cheating on the type of woman who may have an off day and, 1 to 2 days out of the week looks frumpy or has disheveled hair, but still is able to have dinner on the table, on time, still is innovative, still is able to create, still is able to go out there and do what she needs to do to show up in the world and show up in society as who she is, but is a realistic, on a day-to-day basis, has realistic looks and realistic features. When it comes down to it, she doesn't have a team that's helping her get glam. And it's like, with that being said, is that the type of woman that, she was asking to get cheated on? Is that the type of woman that we give a pass to men to be able to step out of their relationship and do what they need to do because there's something that is slightly unsatisfactory with that woman? And it's like, nah, that's not even a standard. That's not even something that we should be looking at and comparing and contrasting to. It's wrong all the way around to be able to say, hey, well, this type of woman is the type of woman you don't cheat on, and this is the type of woman where we understand why you did that. Bottom line is, if there's an agreement, if there's chemistry, if there is love, if there is a purpose that can really drive the relationship into a positive trajectory, both career-wise, soul-wise, family-wise, if it's actually something that you can build upon, men need to be held a little more accountable for how they compose themselves. You do have control. You just decided not to exercise it, and you got caught up. What doesn't come out in the wash will always come out in the rinse. And at the end of the day, and at the beginning of the sentence, whether you a male or a female, you shouldn't be out here lying to your partner about wanting to hook up with other people. I keep saying this, but if you are the type of person where you're in a relationship committed, but you know that that's not true to your nature, you need to let your partner know up front, I'm not going to be exclusive with you because it just is not in me to be exclusive. What I will be exclusive with is my emotions, my finances, and my priority. I will prioritize you, and this goes for both women as men. I will prioritize you as being the main person in my life. But when it comes down to it, exclusively having my sexual members being tied to you is not something that's realistic for me. And I need to know that if you're going to engage in this relationship with me, is this something that is going to be, that you're going to be okay with? Because I don't need the extra drama. You're going to have to understand, sometimes when there's, a hit and run, there's a hit and run. And it doesn't mean that I'm out of control. It just means that this is something that is natural for me. Some people naturally cannot be monogamous. And I feel like instead of punishing yourself and ruining the livelihood for other people in relationships that you engage with, you should just be upfront and say, I choose to be exclusive in the area of my finances, my attention, and in the area of my living situation with you. But when it comes to my sexual encounters, I'm not going to be exclusive in that, and I need you to understand where I'm coming from. But people don't want to have that conversation because they know most people, it's 50-50. Half of the population is like that, and the other half of the population does not appreciate that. They look at it as disrespectful. And I think that's why it's important to be honest and authentic about what your expectations are and where you're coming from. When you're honest and authentic, you don't have to put on a facade. Don't go out here and act like you're down for the cause and that you're with it, and that, this is something that, I'm down with being with multiple people, or I don't mind sharing, when you know that's not the truth. When you know you want to be exclusive and you don't want to share with nobody else. That is not something that you should be that you should be screaming from the rooftop and letting your partner know that, hey, I'm okay with not being exclusive. You need to be able to voice that. And then we need to stop attacking people for wanting to be exclusive. I don't like titles, that you're too clingy, and I don't know about this and that. Okay, then you need to go and swim to another shore, because if you like exclusivity, then you should not be punished for that. You should not be made to feel like you're being selfish because you want to put yourself first. You want to put your needs first, and you don't want to share intimacy with anyone else. Some people's energy are extremely fragile, not their state of mind, not who they are as a person, but their energetic field cannot be tampered and mixed with lower energies. And sometimes when you're out here dibbling and dabbling in other people's, energies, and you come back home, it's all fragmented and messed up for your partner. So when it come down to that, people need to speak up and say, my energy cannot handle me being in a relationship with someone who's not going to be exclusive. I just can't do that. And it does not make you insecure. That's gaslighting if somebody tells you you're insecure as a man or a woman because if I go out and have sex with somebody else, you know what the situation is between me and you. It's just not the same with them. That's not insecurity. That's somebody who is using their selfishness as a weapon to hold you hostage to what their personal convictions are, and to dislodge you from what you deserve. Period. Don't let anyone weaponize your standards as an insecurity and gaslight you into being in a relationship or situationship that is beneath your soul standards. You want exclusivity? You should have it. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what situation or scenario goes on. You should be able to voice, these are my non-negotiables, and if you don't like it, then it's over. And when you get to the point where you hit a non-negotiable, you hit a nerve, you hit a point where it's like, nah, that's not going to work out for me. When you get to that point and you sever ties and go your separate ways, it is what it is. It's like, okay, well, at the end of the day and at the beginning of the sentence, end it amicably. Don't sit up there and try to still hold on to somebody energetically and try to go back and forth. No, you know what you did. You know what happened. You know whose fault it was. You know how you got down, and you know that you messed that up. Hopefully that person can have some solace in their heart to be able to say, no, I'm gonna, maybe we can work on this. Maybe we can, maybe we can't. I don't know. You're still my favorite person, or whatever. You're my favorite mistake, and let's try to work on this again. But if they don't take that personal, and definitely don't try to punish them energetically or try to hold on to them energetically or try to do any of that weird stuff that a lot of men do out here, that a lot of dudes do, but they act like they don't know nothing about, to try to fix what you messed up. And on that note, y'all go listen to Summer Walker's EP. It is out. It's been out for a while. I've been playing it because it's literally a work of art, and I can't get enough of it. Clear to Soft Life, the EP, dropped 2023. I think I've talked about it on an earlier live. Not a live, but an earlier upload. Maybe I'll start doing lives. Who knows? But go and listen to that EP. It'll clear your mind. It'll get your soul together, and it'll defragment some of those fragmented energy centers. Bye for now.